we have with us Urmi Kothari, who is popularly known as Coach Urmi. So Urmi, welcome. It's great to have you there with us today.
Thank you so much.
Great. So just to give a little bit of introduction of Urmi, she is a fitness coach and has been in this area for the last 21 years. And her expertise spreads over yoga, professional dance, martial arts, sports, fitness, and the entire gamut. She is a Nike trainer and a master trainer who has been mentoring over 200 aspiring coaches in the country. And also something very interesting is she has an extremely eclectic mix of clientele, from senior corporate professionals to models to photographers to actors, you just name it, she has it all. And over the last 7 years, she has founded Kinetic Living, which is a fitness and a wellness boutique in Bombay. Now, saying that, the one particular thing I find personally very interesting is that she calls herself an energy coach. And she says that she tries to bring in transformation in the mind through the body. So of course, Urmi, we will keep to that thought and we will explore that a little later. First and foremost, what I would really want to like to know from you is, Urmi, is that you switched from a very well-established corporate career to the fitness field. So what made you transition? What was going on in your mind?
Sure. So I thank you so much, by the way, for such a lovely introduction. I mean, I don't call myself like having the who's and who of clients, but yes, whoever has been with me or Kinetic Living holds a special place, not only in the company, but also in my heart, because the kind of journey we facilitate and we intend for our students, we don't even call them our clients, but our students, the process is so personal that you end up knowing the person so much more. And in fact, the reason why I chose to also switch my careers has a lot to do with this connection with the person rather than just a designation. And one of the things, I was always into sports and fitness, and that's why I have like a 21 years of experience in that. The first till I was 25, I was mainly a fitness freak. Like I was very much into sports and resistance training and all related to physical movement. And when I was in my corporate job, I just was not very happy with because I'm a person who loves learning. Whether it be a skill or whether it be any kind of, I'm also used to be called the nerd in my class. So I love learning, and I just felt like my learning curve was stagnating. And another thing that had happened actually in my first week of induction at SP Gen was I read Steve Jobs' speech, and he spoke two things which really just spoke out to me. One was that the dots always connect looking backwards. And for me, that was a very big motivator and inspiration to listen to my gut. And you won't believe, the first week of my MBA school, and I was like, I don't think I'm cut out for this. But I decided I would do the 1-year MBA nonetheless, with giving it all my best. And that comes from who I am. I like to give it my best. And I really did. So I learned a lot during my MBA, which I'm currently using in my brand. But yes, that is one, that the dots don't connect forwards, they'll only connect backwards. So listen to your gut. And second thing is, do what you love. And I think these two things really struck out to me. So when I decided to give it a shot, I was going by a big gut feeling that I needed to try to do something right away. I was 24 and I was not getting any older. Plus, I was looking at a vocation which is very physically demanding. So I was taking an educated risk because I'd already been into sports and physical movement for
Right.
almost 10 years when before I decided to turn pro. So
Right.
those two things made it a very educative and I can say thought through risk in that sense.
Right.
And
Right.
luckily, I didn't have the financial pressure to pay my bills
Right.
because I was supported, and there was no liabilities, because of which it allowed me to take that financial risk as well.
Right.
So and I was like, it would be criminal for me not to take advantage of this privilege. And
Hmm.
I just one thing I said, that I want to be known for who I am rather than for what I am. So I don't
Right.
want to be
Right.
known by my designation. I want to be known for the work that I do, or
Right.
for who I am. Yeah. So
Right.
those are the
Right.
things that
Right.
really pushed me to change my field. Yeah.
Sure. So I think few things that you said really resonate, which was number one, continuous learning. One is that the expectation from everybody now in the world, and every individual as a professional also wants to continuously learn because they know that it's imperative to stay relevant and also pursue your passion or follow your gut. I think these are very interesting points that you said. So uh, I think coming back specifically, if you could just explain a little bit, what do you really mean by energy coach and transitioning the mind through the body? Because fitness is also something that everybody is talking about. So what do you
Hmm.
really mean by that? And how can that be
Hmm.
related to our day-to-day life?
Hmm. Hmm. So, couple of things. First of all, what is energy, right? Energy is basically your kinetic energy, is also energy in motion. Things where
Right.
you set things in motion, be it an intention, be it a goal,
Hmm.
be it your fitness regime, or be it just like learning and climbing up the corporate ladder. So
Hmm.
energy coach basically means that I help you align your, not only your physical energies, but also
Mhm.
your mental energies, in that sense, your mindset, in order to help you do your best and achieve your
Right.
best potential, not only as a fitness body or as a fit body, but also translate that strength and that awareness into your personal life, your professional life.
Right.
So for example, for someone being their best energetic, who's a photographer, would be just to make sure that they can go through the shoot throughout the day feeling completely great, not having a backache at the end of the day, and still being able to, stay in those very precarious positions to get his best shot. For someone
Right.
who is a corporate person but is has a family, would like to stay fit, would like to have a good resting heart rate, would like to not have hypertension, while still
Hmm.
managing their weight, and have their joints,
Hmm.
have their posture in a way that at the end of the day, they don't feel lethargic, they don't feel
Right.
unfit, right? So to be
Right.
and in the times when they're professional stress, they're able to use their body to support that stress, rather than the
Right.
body going through and then using either junk food or bad food habits to cope with that.
Right.
For someone like me, my energy level, I mean, my version of a kinetic life
Hmm.
would be being able to coach my clients well, being able to pursue my own fitness goals, and at the
Right.
same time be energetic to do my profession and build my brand, right?
Right.
So
Right.
the main thing is to really you do you. And how do you do you is
Hmm.
basically by strengthening your body by using
Hmm.
workouts, and which are
Hmm.
workouts that are more mind body related as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then going to a little bit more where you're starting to become aware about what you're eating, how you are
Right.
responding to stress.
Right.
And that's where we are aligning your energies to your life and your life
Right.
goals in a way that it's always a evolving process. It doesn't hit a roadblock, because
Hmm.
you're not
Hmm.
trying to follow the same old routine that you were doing 2 years
Right.
ago, and
Right.
where your life has moved on, but your fitness goals are still far back.
Right. 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 So I think that's very very interesting. But connecting to one thing which stayed on, one thing that you mentioned which stayed on with me is that following your gut. You know, the space that you are in is pretty crowded, and there are lots of people who are trying to really survive and thrive and excel in this field. So, what are the few things that you did really went on establishing you as a successful person in this space. So what are the things that you did similarly or differently, which can be really stated as your success statement?
So let's dial back to the definitions, very definitions of
Right.
success, or the very definitions of, like you said, successful in my field or in any
Right.
field. For
Right.
me, like I said even previously, is like you do you. So when I say listening to the gut, what
Hmm.
really pushed me to switch careers was my gut. And then
Hmm.
after that, let's say if I'm in a fitness field, the success would be that, oh, okay, one of the ideas of success would be you have 15 branches across the country
Hmm.
where you
Hmm.
are having your different studios and you're either
Hmm.
giving franchisees, or
Hmm.
then another way of defining success would be to have a great bottom line. Another way
Right.
of success would be to be in the news all the time, to be
Hmm.
popular, to be
Hmm.
like have a great Instagram following, or so on
Right.
and so forth, right?
Hmm.
I feel like these are more set ways of defining success. And
Hmm.
what
Hmm.
I did, I think, which I think set me apart, was that I defined my own success.
Hmm.
I didn't try to, for me, one of the biggest things was that I'm not going to try and build number of franchisees across the country,
Right.
even though I
Hmm.
know I had the potential, because I
Hmm.
wanted the creative freedom to express and to come up with different programs that would
Right.
really motivate people to love fitness, to enjoy fitness,
Right.
rather than
Right.
it becoming a process of just weight loss, or just a
Right.
process of using fitness to cure your medical problems. Right
Right.
now, in an older population, which is
Hmm.
above 35, majority
Hmm.
of them have a lot of lifestyle related issues,
Right.
right?
Right.
And the the problem is because they haven't been taught fitness from the point of view of exploration, creativity,
Right.
fun, rather than it
Right.
just being, oh, you need to lose weight, so you need to do this, right?
Right.
So
Right.
that kills all the enjoyment in it. And for
Hmm.
me, my purpose is to make people, like you said, to change. The
Hmm.
moment you change the way you look at fitness, not coming
Right.
from a place of weight loss, but coming from a place of how can I strengthen my body, how can I
Right.
improve my posture, how can I be
Right.
more energetic throughout the day, right?
Right.
If you
Right.
try to answer these questions, you will automatically slowly align your habits, your food, your physical workouts to
Hmm.
focus
Hmm.
on
Hmm.
energizing you rather than looking at a calorie burn.
Right.
And that's
Right.
where an energy coach like me comes in and helps you align all those actions and the plan. About upskilling, right? The
Right.
way I upskilled was, I saw the first thing was I should be able to enjoy learning this and
Right.
teaching it. Only then
Right.
I'm going to pursue that skill. Like there are,
Right.
in fitness, there are so many disciplines to learn. But why
Right.
did I choose these specific disciplines of kettlebell training, Pilates, animal flow,
Hmm.
resistance training, calisthenics? Because they
Right.
all encourage use of body as a unit and not
Right.
isolate my body into like muscles. Like
Ah.
these
Hmm.
muscles
Hmm.
are a result of years of consistency. They are
Right.
not coming because I'm just looking to build a muscle.
Right.
And
Right.
people in corporate life do not need to build muscle. They need to
Yeah.
look at their movement patterns. How do they go
Hmm.
and pick up that bag? How do they
Hmm.
lift their children? How are they
Hmm.
sitting in the desk for that many long hours? How are
Right.
they
Right.
breathing when they are stressful? How are they
Right.
strengthening their bigger muscles so that not just that they are burning calories, but they are improving their metabolism,
Right.
right?
Right.
So
Right. Hmm.
exercise has so many benefits. Like, for
Right.
example, if I have to take you from the neurological perspective, the feel good
Hmm.
hormones like your endorphins and your serotonin
Right.
are released when you
Right.
exercise. Exercise
Right.
is the most
Right.
natural cure for depression and anxiety, right?
Right.
But
Hmm.
this is where kinetic living differs, or the energy coaching differs, by just
Hmm.
telling you not just to exercise, but what to exercise, right?
Hmm.
If you're
Hmm.
someone who is mired with anxiety or a lot of stress in your life, you
Hmm.
can't be doing an HIIT workout. You can't be
Hmm.
doing
Hmm.
exercises that put you further into stress, because
Right. Right.
exercise is a form of good. A weak person, imagine, it's like you just came, you were a fresher and I was
Hmm.
giving you KPIs of like a high level management. Would you be able
Right.
to deal with
Right.
that? No way.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
I mean, the same way, if you were in 8th standard, I wouldn't give you an
Right.
examination of a MBA school, right?
Right.
Why would you do that for your fitness when you expect your body to perform its best? Then you haven't even tried exercising in your life. What you're doing, you're
Right.
like literally telling a child, you better be independent and like make your own money. You know what I mean?
Right. It's a
So
very interesting perspective, Urme, because, you know, typically whenever we, as you rightly said, typically whenever we talk about fitness, we feel that, okay, these are the 3 tick marks that we need to do, that our neck is okay, our back is okay, our weight is in check, and that's about it. But this
yeah,
entire holistic perspective that fitness is something that you start thinking about from the time you get up till the time you hit your bed. It literally covers each and every aspect of your life. I think I personally find it extremely interesting. It seems commonsensical, but I think we were not, or we don't put our minds as much into thinking about that
exactly.
as we think about other things. So just tell me, I mean, do you think that in general in the industry, I mean, for everybody, for people in general, the perspective, the way they look at fitness, has that changed a little bit in the last 4 or 5 years? And if it has, what is it that the people are doing differently perhaps for their mental, physical, every kind of fitness?
So that's a great question. First of all, we need to see that unfortunately, the number of people exercising, forget right now the
Mm.
world, even in India, is so
Mm.
small. Like
Yeah.
probably 0.2 or maybe even lesser percent of
Mm.
people in this country are exercising, first of all.
Mm.
So
Mm.
already that population is so small, right? Now,
Mm.
within that, earlier fitness was unfortunately got popular because of bodybuilding. Now, bodybuilding
Mm.
is a sport wherein the sport is of aesthetics. The sport is
Right.
about bringing your muscles to their best and the most biggest form,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
Now
Mm.
lifestyles have changed wherein people
Right.
are no longer that active like they used to be before, even in my mother's days. And we have become more and more sedentary. We have so many
Mm.
more options and technologies that make us not move from our seat. So what
Mm-hmm.
has happened is that the postures have become really poor over time, and the
Mm-hmm.
movements that were done earlier are no longer as relevant as our lifestyles have changed. So the
Okay.
progress or the development in people's psyche about fitness and about the
Mm.
means and the options available to become fit are not aligned with the way the lifestyles have progressed in the last 20 to 30 years. That is one. So I'm
Right.
just showing you the discrepancy there.
Right.
Now, when it comes to people earlier would think that, oh, if you are still people think if you are thin or if you are lean or if you're under your weight category, then you don't need to
Mm.
exercise. That is the
Yeah.
first thing that now people are slowly, especially after pandemic, people are realizing that no, just because you're thin or just because you don't have any problem doesn't
Mm.
mean that you don't exercise, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
earlier exercise was only looked as a weight loss situation.
Mm.
It is
Mm.
not looked at as a way to empower your life. And that's what
Right.
kinetic living is trying to do, is that hey, if you have a body, and even Nike says this, if you have a body,
Mm.
you are an athlete. And
Mm.
physiologically also, our bodies are made to move, which now
Right.
feel like if I exercise, I feel good. So people are slowly within that small population, people are getting more and more cognizant about the fact that exercise helps me feel better. Exercise is
Right.
not just a weight loss thing. So majority, especially because of course the you your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So
Right.
most of
Right.
us students are people who understand this.
Right. Right.
Now out there,
Mm.
unfortunately, because for example, I have a huge following on Instagram, majority of the DMs that we get are like,
Mm.
we want to train with you, because they see me in my videos, they want to train, but
Right.
they're like, will you give diet? Will you,
Ah.
my tummy is too big, will you give me diet for flat
Mm.
tummy? Will you, my thighs are too big, my arms are too
Mm.
small, my
Mm.
shoulders are too weak. So
Mm.
if you see, people are objective really forcing us to think about how we approach our own goals, not just
Right.
fitness
Right.
goals, but also life goals,
Right.
right?
Right. Right. Right.
Are you making
So
so much
actually,
money and then your
yeah.
body is so poor? It's like, you're driving in a Mercedes, but your body is a truck, or it's a rickshaw or a tuk-tuk,
Just one thing,
It's
this
okay.
I want everything as on yesterday. Is it that you see in general that's the perspective, or is it that a specific segment of people are thinking like that, whereas other segments are not perhaps so much in a hurry? How do you see that?
So that's a great question. So the thing is that, I'm sure you'll agree with me that everyone has different areas in their life, right? You have your
Right.
health, then you have your social life, you have your professional life, you have your career, you have your education, you have if you're a parent or you are a child, right? So parenting, then you have your love life, then you have your spiritual pursuits, right? There are so many aspects of our lives. And for me, fitness, because I was so connected with it emotionally as well, for me, I have applied a lot of the lessons I learned from fitness into my life. And because I was so non-goal oriented, which may sound so funny, but I never had very, very big fitness goal that I have to lose weight or I have to do this. I sensed something in my body which I was like, I need to take care of it. That's how my fitness journey started. So what I'm trying to say is, we can extrapolate the good lessons that we learn from one area of our life and try to apply it to other areas of our life as well. And that's what I have done from my fitness. Is I also use my consistency, my motivation, my mindset when I'm working out, also as a check-in to see whether am I pushing too much in my professional life, am I being too harsh on myself in the other areas of my life. So when you spoke about the stress, right, or the quick tips that we need to sort of at this point that can help us, is one thing is that you could be a VP, you could be a company's head, you could be a startup founder, you could be a CEO, or you could be a mid-level person. But don't look at your performance in fitness the way you would you're performing in your work life, because you have developed those skills. You have done your studies, you have done a lot of certifications to reach at a professional place in your life, and you have worked on it. You are practicing it every day, you're executing, right? You're getting better at it by doing it. So you have progressed over time. Then why are you expecting to ace and become like the CEO of your own fitness health in like 4 weeks?
One day. Okay.
Right? So all I'm saying is, start as a beginner and start in a way where if you see a beginner always is excited, they are like, okay, I want to know this. I want to know this. So that's why I keep saying, try to enjoy whatever you're picking up as a fitness habit. And that is where you are being kind to yourself, because you are only picking up things that you enjoy in your fitness activity. And where you are being consistent, or where you're being a little strict with yourself, is like I told you, that 10 minutes 3 times a week, and then slowly bump it up to 20 minutes 3 times a week, then slowly bump it up to 30 minutes 3 times a week, right? And what do you do during that time is, you first, like for example, if you feel like dancing, put on a video and dance. If you feel like stretching, then do stretching. What happens is, when you start attaching goals like weight loss to your fitness practice, what happens is that then you will directly want to reach there, and you will question, you will not worry about whether I'm enjoying it or not, because like, I need to lose weight, I need to do this. So you will do it hook or crook, but then that's not sustainable, right? And you don't want to come from a place of hating your body. You want to come from a place of, I have this body, yes, it could be overweight right now, and because I want to get my body to functioning properly, I can do things which are more easy first, right? Slowly upskilling. Don't try to like be like a pro on the third day, right? It's not going to happen. So and unfortunately or fortunately, there slowly coaches are also changing the way they speak, the way they communicate about fitness, because that's very essential it's our responsibility as coaches to tell you this, and not worry about that. And what happens, this is again like, oh, client bhag jayega, ye result nahi dikhega, client bhag jayega, right? So that's where again, if clients are impatient, coaches will become impatient. If coaches are impatient, it will transfer it further back to you. So it's a give and take. Somewhere the cycle has to break, where the coach is like, no, this is not good for you, you need to stop doing this, right? And being open to change. If you're not open to change, you will not change anything about your lifestyle. Are you ready to, let's say,
sorry. I think, sorry, I just, I think this was really insightful, and I love the way we can actually draw examples from each and every sphere of life. So as they say, I mean, hard work, which you're not enjoying, really leads to stress. Whereas hard work, which you're really enjoying, can end up being your passion or your calling for life. So I think that is very, very important.
If your pain has a purpose, if your pain has a purpose, it's not pain anymore. It's that is hard work. Also, one of the things which is again, which I've seen in fitness, which is like go hard or go home. Like I have to feel that I have done something so much that I'm exhausted by the end of the day. Then only I will call myself productive. Or even in workouts, like if I'm not dead after my workout, I haven't done a great workout. When you start, and so this happens where a lot of fitness enthusiasts and fitness freaks also, which by the way, in 2019, it had reached up to a point for me also for certain months, for a couple of months, where I was using working out as a coping mechanism for stress in other areas of life. When you start using fitness as a coping mechanism, that is also unhealthy. So, and it takes time. Like we said, like it is a slow journey. Only thing that you can try to remember right now is be kind to yourself while setting goals. But don't be kind to yourself when you're being accountable in terms of that, oh, I need to sleep those extra 10 minutes. Okay, sleep those extra 10 minutes, but make those 10 minutes in your day. You have to have a non-negotiable 20 to 30 minutes in the day for yourself. At least start with that, and don't worry about working out also during that time, but spend those 30 minutes or 20 minutes without a screen and not talking to someone else. Just be with yourself. If you can do that, be with yourself for those 20 to 30 minutes without getting restless, or without like, just enjoy maybe a cup of tea by yourself, right? Then maybe after the second or the third week, you will start thinking creatively. What can I do in those 30 minutes? Because you've already made that space in your life, right? It's something as simple. Are you telling me you don't have 30 minutes for your own self? Because if you don't do it now, you're going to be forced to do it later on.
And maybe in a way that you would not be in a position
to slow down. Why? What is the hurry? Like, this is, I'm telling from my personal experiences, like Urmi, and I had so much patience for myself in fitness, but I didn't have patience for myself in my business. I wanted it everything yesterday. And I realized, I'm like, if I can be patient there, why can't I be patient here?
I think you made a very interesting point that the pandemic is actually perhaps directing us to slow down and pace out and think things through a little more, have the right perspective compared to what we used to perhaps a few months earlier. I think so.
Maybe I could say 1 year earlier.
I'm sure by the time we are done with it, it will be a few years.
And imagine, like, if you see everything that were the previous structures or the way of functioning has collapsed to a great extent. And when India tried going back to normal, it came back. Of course, the second wave was predicted, right? But what can we do is what everyone also says as a citizen: stay home and take care of yourself, right? Why are we underrating that? Taking care of yourself doesn't mean that you have to punish yourself. Taking care of yourself means doing some things which give you positive change. So define your own positive change. Maybe it is to inculcate a reading habit. Maybe it is to not look at the screen for more than 2 hours at one stretch. Maybe
Right.
it is
Right.
to even motivate yourself in positive ways. So another thing that you
Mm-hmm.
can do apart from those non-negotiable 20 to 30 minutes is
Right.
is change the way you talk to yourself, right? Like,
Right.
you are a
Right.
lazy person, you're not going to be able to do this, or you couldn't do something. Why couldn't I do this? I'm not better as much as anyone else. Or
Mm.
so these negative things are also draining your energy. So as
Right.
energy coach, the first question we also ask is, what are you doing that in your day that uplifts your energy, and what are you doing during the day
Right.
that drains your energy, right? And if you
Right.
do
Right.
it,
Right.
a little bit, your you will be in a high deficit of that energy. You're
Energy.
doing things that are draining you more than the
Right.
things that you're doing are energizing you,
Right.
right?
Right. And that's
Of
definitely
course
not a
you're gonna
situation that
feel,
you want to be in. Yeah. 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 Mm.
and pandemic is a stressful situation for so many people.
Right.
People are losing jobs, and unemployment is so high. Like, I was reading some report just couple 2 weeks back, and the numbers are ridiculous. So
Mm. Mm.
I can totally understand when people's livelihoods are at stake, right?
Right.
But at that
Right.
point in time, what you can do is that you can't control whatever you can't control, right? You cannot do something about it, but your
Right.
health is in your control, and your thoughts are in your control,
Right.
right?
Right.
And
Right.
thoughts have energy as well. Thoughts can uplift your
Mm.
energy, or they can drain your energy. So
Right.
office
Right.
politics, a very unfair boss,
Yeah.
unrealistic deadlines,
Right.
a judgment on the person rather than the work, right?
Right.
All of these things really make the atmosphere very
Negative.
non-conducive for
Yeah.
people to grow.
Right.
So,
Right.
and honestly, one of the biggest blessings I also feel is that I have my own business, and I can make creative decisions like this. And
Right.
I love it that I'm not like, I
Questionable
don't have a
too. Yeah.
boss. I'm my
Right.
own
Right.
boss.
Right.
So
True.
of course it works both ways, and that we
Yeah.
can discuss maybe some other
Yeah.
time on
Yeah.
entrepreneurship. But
Yeah.
yes, I mean, these are the small things, right? Like,
Sure.
how are you
Sure.
talking to your colleague, right?
Mm.
Now everything is on Zoom, right? So
Mm.
your ability to connect with the opposite person is lower. You don't know
Mm.
what they have been through yesterday. Maybe their family member is going through a health problem. How are
Mm.
you talking to your colleagues? We
Mm.
can
Mm.
start by simply changing that if we want to see a positive change in the work environment,
Right. Sure.
right?
That was very
The same way
enlightening,
you talk to
Urmi.
yourself. Like, how would you talk to your
Yeah.
best friend? Would you talk to your best
Right.
friend like saying you're lazy, you're this, you're that, you're this?
Mm.
Your best friend is not going to be around you. Then do you do that to your own body,
Yourself.
right?
Yeah, 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 absolutely. So these were very couple of extremely interesting perspective for me, because, and I think personally what I enjoyed is looking at everything in connectivity. Fitness is not just purely about the
Isolated.
sweats that sweat in the morning or sweat in the evening. It's a completely holistic perspective that you need to have about your mind, body, soul, everything. I think that was very, very
And
insightful.
for it to be lifelong, for it to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
not just
yeah.
a habit, but for it to energize your life, it
Right,
has the
right,
potential. So in
right,
fact, that's what
right.
I'm also talking about in my upcoming book, which is, do not look at fitness in a silo. You
Right.
have to look at fitness as who you are, what your life phase is, what is your temperament, what is in a way a little bit of your personality as well, right?
Right.
When I say what is your life phase, I mean, if you're changing jobs, if
Mm,
you are getting married, if you are having a baby, if you're
mm,
going through a divorce,
mm,
if you've lost a job,
mm,
if if you're sick, right?
mm,
You have to look at these and then define your fitness goals according to that. Your
mm,
fitness goal is not weight loss. In fact,
mm,
if you take care of your body, and if you move the way it, because your body is made to move, it's called,
mm,
in trainers language we call it use it or lose it. If you
mm,
don't keep raising your hands above
mm,
above your head and doing this, this joint is going to get stiff because body thinks it doesn't need to move it. So by the time you don't like exercise properly in the right way, you probably you will only be able to lift your hand straight till here. If I ask you to pull it here, your elbow will bend. Right? You will these muscles at the back will start to weaken, and these are not, I'm not talking about the superficial muscles, I'm talking about the muscles close to your spine. If you don't work them, they will weaken, and automatically you will be like this.
Slouch. Sure.
Right? If you're slouched in this position, your shoulders are going to tighten up. So what I'm trying to say is, use it or lose it is what the body follows. So if you do what your body needs, and again, that I don't mean that do hardcore workouts, just do simple movements, stretches, joint mobilization in the beginning, at least you will feel fresh.
Right, absolutely.
Right?
Thank you, Urmi, for that. I mean, thanks. That was really great. And personally, how you can incorporate, I think, small little changes and small little improvements, and then keep working on it, and then it can become a part of your life. I think incremental and consistent movement when it can become a part of your life. But
just progress over perfection. Progress over perfection.
So now that we are coming to the end of the discussion, Urmi, what would be some of the things that you would like to say to people who would want to pursue fitness as their career? Someone who would like to emulate you and pursue the same road. What would you like to show those people?
Definitely your love for fitness has to be there, for sure. I mean, don't try to get into any profession just because it is lucrative. That's one thing that I learned in 2009. And second is get your basics right, like get your technical, do your studies to understand the human body, and to because if you love fitness also, you will end up practicing your own workouts. So learn how to do them well. Right? So that is second. Third is you have to have the knack to want to help people. And maybe in the beginning, and trust me, even after now 9 years of coaching, if today my students message me something that I've helped them do better, or something that we have put it out there and they have benefited it from some way or the other, or any of the Instagram videos that we have put and they have helped someone else, and the messages that we get, it still makes my day.
Right.
Because I thoroughly enjoy being part of other people's journey. So if you genuinely care for your customers / students, then they can see it. They know it. The customers are not dumb. And they will see that even if you charge a premium, that whatever you're doing for them, you're doing it from a place of complete, genuine effort. Right. And I think that, especially because fitness is such a human field, right? It's about change. It's about, again, like I said, touching. Something has to touch you inside, and you can't do that with just yes, packaging is important, branding is important, all of that. But your branding and your advertising could be great. But if your actual service is not, people are not dumb. Right? So genuine care for people, to help people. And I think the last one is to, like I said, upskill. And again, upskill, keep updating yourself, and you will see that you will be able to provide your customers or your students something more valuable that's coming from you. Because you've learned so much, you've been exposed so much to so many different kinds of experiences, that if you also love fitness, you will be able to, project that excitement, project that positivity out there. And that's what will make people keep coming back. So you is very important. If you don't enjoy something, it's very hard to love it, at least for someone like me. And I mean, even Steve Jobs has said it, like, forget me. So,
pursue your passion.
If you see anyone uh, and like I said, define what passion means to you. Passion doesn't mean that you're just going to climb up the ladder. Passion also means maybe you quit a project and you go and pursue something you love, which is
Right.
again you enjoy, right?
Right.
Because when you are
Right.
climbing up the ladder, if you are enjoying doing that, then yes, that could be your passion, right?
Right.
But if you are doing climbing up the ladder because the society expects you to do that to define
Yeah.
you as successful, then it's not
Right.
going to
Right.
be
Doesn't
long
make
lasting.
sense. Sure. Sure. So I think, Urmi, that was very insightful. I mean, personally, I really enjoyed and got a lot of perspective, and I'm sure lots of people will do the same as well. And I think I really was amazed how we can actually draw parallels of what we are expected to think, how we are expected to behave in the corporate world, where else in your world. So that just brings about that the perspective and thought processes need to be pretty much same if you want to excel
Same.
whichever
Yes.
field that you are talking about. And I think that the thing that really stays on with me is look at your body in the larger perspective. Not just that, okay, I'm doing exercise for this particular person. I just have a neck pain and henceforth let me look at resolving it and get it over with. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Don't
You
look at it as a
really know
quick
that it,
fix.
yeah. There are no quick fixes. There are only long-term approaches if you want to continue to have a healthy, happy, fulfilled life. I think that was
And
very, very
one thing I can add in the
sure.
ways, like you said, that what can people do apart from the non-negotiable time, and like I said,
Right.
sticking to it, enjoying it. Another thing is that look at food as fuel. Don't
Right.
measure food in your calories, because when you
Right.
just look at calories, you're gonna ignore the ingredients that go into that food, and
Right.
that can really skew your choices. And you may pick a food that is made with processed ingredients, which has
Right.
lesser calories, over a natural occurring food which probably has higher calories.
Right.
So
Right.
don't define your food as calories. Define it as, is it fueling you? Is it making you
Right.
sleepy? Is it making you lethargic? Then even if it is low in calorie, it's maybe not good
Everything
for
for
you,
you. Yeah.
right? So, and a lot of, especially in the pandemic, what happens is it's a vicious cycle. You feel lazy and you want to stimulate your mind. You want
Right.
to eat junk because again, it lights up the reward systems in your
Right.
brain. So you feel
Right.
good momentarily, and then
But in the
you come
long
down
run,
crashing.
yeah.
Then you
Yeah.
come down
Yeah.
crashing because it's fast sugar. And then
Right.
again, you crave it one more time. And every time
Right.
you crave, you need more to satiate you.
Right.
So,
Right. Right.
and then your thoughts, right? Your thoughts are also, you feel lazy, you feel slow, so you don't
Yeah.
feel like moving. So
Yeah.
again, then you're going back to that same, then you gain weight. And
Right.
then because of the crazy stigma that is there on weight gain, you get stressed about that. So then you start cursing your
Yeah.
body, then you start judging your body, then you start
Yeah.
talking to yourself like you're
Right.
scolding yourself, right? So if you see, it's
Right.
like negative
Right.
spiral. You need to reverse
Yeah.
that. And of course, there is a
Right.
lot of inertia in everyone. It takes
Hmm.
time, but
Hmm.
the first phase will be difficult. It's
Okay.
how you look at it. That's what
Right.
matters.
Right. 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 Absolutely. I think these were some amazing perspective for me, and thank you so much for sparing the time and taking us through in so much of detail. I mean, I personally enjoyed this time, and I'm sure each and every one of our viewers will also have a great insight, perspectives, and they'll know how to get their journey in the true perspective.
Thank
Saying
you.
that,
Thank you so much.
thanks a lot, Urmi, for your time. Uh, and we will catch up later for sure.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you
Bye.
so much.